In today's adventure, we are going to be hiking the Victoria Trail. So we are in Dauphin County today, here in Pennsylvania, and this is in an area known as Clark's Valley along Route 325. Not terribly far from the state capital of Harrisburg. And there are quite a few other vehicles out here today. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here, plus that whole pandemic thing is going on yet, so a lot of people are just out enjoying the outdoors, which is not a bad idea. Alright, I've never been on this trail, so I'm looking forward to it. I've been at this parking lot before to explore other areas, but I've never gone up the trail. Alright, I should say that this connects with, up on top of the mountain is the Appalachian Trail, and the Joseph Iverson Conservation Area is up there as well. So, anyway, as I always say, let's quit yapping and get hiking and get away from the traffic. Alright, so away we go up the Victoria Trail. I think halfway up there's another trail called the Whitetail Trail, which I think we'll take on the way down. I should say this is April 25th. Things are starting to green up. Alright, so I haven't gotten far at all, but I'm noticing this plant here, and I've talked about this plant in other videos, because it's got those purple flowers. I grew up calling it periwinkle. It goes by other names, but this is not a native plant. You know, it's a ground cover. Whenever you see this plant, it means that there was something nearby, you know, man-made, like a home or something. So I poked around a little bit, and there's a foundation over there. Definitely something here, a foundation. So there was something here at one time. And somebody planted this stuff and it's kind of taken over the area. And as we're walking along, I see one of my favorite plants. A plant that I mentioned in a lot of my videos. You should recognize it here. It's these May apples. Yeah, the farm where I grew up on, we had some woods too, and these always popped up in the woods. I always loved them. I guess they just remind me of my childhood too, I guess. It's actually a really beautiful day. And I do have some mail to share with you as well. Quite a bit. But I think we'll wait till we get to the top to share and eat some of that. Some of it is eatable mail. So we'll probably have a little lunch when we get to the top here of this mountain. I should say this is Peter's Mountain. That's what it's called. Peter's Mountain. I forget who it's named after, but starting to gain some elevation. Of course, you can see all the new, fresh spring green as the tree buds are bursting open. But we still got quite a bit of elevation to go yet to get to the top of Peter's Mountain. So let's keep going. Hoping to see some wildlife out here too, but with as many cars as were in a parking lot, that might mean there's a lot of people on the trail, so that tends to scare wildlife off, but we'll see.
You know, some people have spent a lot of time on this trail making nice little steps going up. It's interesting. Got lots of these little springs just pouring out the side of the hillside here. Oh, get my shadow out of the way. Yep, just pouring out of the ground. So one of my goals for this year, even what I'm trying to do more today, is just to slow down a little bit more at times and just take a break and just kind of let nature come to you at times, I guess. I think a lot of times I get on these trails and I just keep going and going and going, and you know, I'm always eager to see what's around the next bend and things like that. And sometimes I don't take the time to just slow down and, you know, soak in what's more around me sometimes, if that makes sense. Well, that's cool. Now we're just hearing some birds off in the distance there, which I'm doing. I'm soaking in my surroundings right now. So, all right. Yeah, I think it's a general lesson for life. We get in such a hurry sometimes that we just don't slow down and enjoy life sometimes. Anyway. All right, then just up ahead from where we took our break is the junction with the Whitetail Trail. Of course, this will take you to the top of the mountain. Appalachian Trail, 0.8 miles. It says SATC, I think that's Susquehanna Area Trail Club or something like that. We're going to continue on the Victoria Trail to the top of the mountain. We'll come back down the Whitetail Trail. There we go, Victoria Trail, Appalachian Trail, 0.5 miles this way. So half a mile to the top of the mountain here. So you can kind of make a loop trail up here, or like a balloon hike, they call it sometimes. And just off trail we have some fungus growing. Some interesting orange slimy fungus. This is called witch's butter. I think I've probably mentioned this in some videos before. But there's a reason it's named that. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Kind of a cool little fungus there. Yeah, that fungus gets its name because they used to think back in the good old days, if they saw that growing on your house, which back then most people's houses were made out of wood, if that was growing on your house, either meant that you were a witch or that you were cursed by a witch or something like that, and they would pretty much burn your house down with you and your family in it to get rid of either the witch or those people cursed by the witch. So yeah. And you know that fungus has nothing to do with witches, so if it just randomly decided to grow in your house, well, that wasn't so good for you. But in some ways we've come a long ways since then, but in some ways not so much. Anyway, we'll let that go. All right, so that's witch's butter. You can eat it too, it just has no taste. I don't think I've ever actually tried it. All right, we're nearing the top of the mountain here soon, thankfully, and then we'll, like I said, we'll look for a place to have some lunch and share some mail. All right, we made it to the top. The trail does continue on, but just over the ridge there is the Appalachian Trail. But there is a view over here, a little bit of a trail leading up to it. So this is where we're gonna sit relax, eat a snack, and share some mail, I think. Looks like a good spot. Alright, so the first package I'm going to share with you comes from Mary and Jeff, because they sent me a nice box of stuff and some cards. The first thing that was in that box was a hat with a nice scene on it. And remember from the note, she had this this hat was made, well, not the hat, but the scene on it was painted by somebody. I think she said somebody on Etsy. You can have somebody paint a scene for you. So that was made for me. So thank you for that. That was the first thing that popped out of the box, was a hat. So that was not the only thing in the box. There were a bunch of Snickers bars. This is the last one, and I'm going to eat this in a few moments actually, so that'll be gone. She sent some of the peanut butter ones too, the peanut butter Snickers, those are good. And did send this little pin was in there, pin, Blue Marsh Lake pin, so I'll put that in my backpack. And they also sent me something very dangerous. The whole bag of these black licorice caramel creams. Let me take it out of the wrapper. I didn't bring the whole bag with, but these caramel creams. Now I'm familiar with, I grew up with the regular caramel creams. Put that in the bag there. That was one of my childhood favorites, but I'd never ever heard of black licorice caramel creams. So when I saw those, I got pretty excited. And they're dangerous. They're really good. So thank you for that. I guess it could be very dangerous though. So I also got some cards from them. They did send me an Easter card. I got 2 Easter cards this year. A little bumblebee. Are they sure that they're wearing gloves and masks when they sent this to me? And also another card as well, with some kind words in it. And a longer letter too, talking about some things. She talked about some of her and her husband's experiences. And they mentioned one place, the Glen White Coke Ovens. I've heard of them before, but she described them here, so now I have to go there. That's one place I do need to go. I'd seen several other videos of people that have been there, so now I need to go there. And she does mention something in her note that a lot of people mention. She is what I'm going to call slightly disabled. I'm not going to go into details because, to keep things private for her, but and a lot of people have mentioned that to me. They enjoy my videos because they themselves can't go out and do what I'm able to do, so they kind of go exploring through me. So that's always appreciative. When I started making these videos, I never really thought, I didn't plan it that way, but a lot of people who are older or disabled, enjoy watching these videos because they can't really do it themselves anymore. So that's kind of cool. All right, I have several other pieces of mail here. Oh, this is from David. Thank you for your gift, David. He sends me a check every now and then. He says, thanks for the movies. So I appreciate that, David. Let's see, what's this? Oh, this is from Dale and Linda. They have a kind little letter for me. Bluebird on it. He sent me a little gift, a little gas card. So thank you for that. It definitely helps. And what's this? Oh, I believe this was from, this is from Tracy. She sent me a card. Hello. Sent me a nice long message there. I'm not going to read it all for you, but she mentioned I've been to some places that she went to as a child growing up down in Maryland. Oh, she says, how do you keep the ticks off? I don't know. They don't seem to like me too much, the ticks. I mean, I do get them on me, but I don't get them. Some people seem to struggle with that more than others, but I don't really seem to. The ticks don't seem to like me too much. I don't think I taste good. And then I got something here from Mary. I think it was Mary and John. Yep, from Buffalo. Sent me a nice little note and a little booklet she got some years ago. Hazleton at War. About Hazleton up in Pennsylvania. Because Hazleton wasn't in the Civil War, but it was talking about what it was like in Hazleton during the Civil War. These little local books can be little treasure troves of information, for exploring and making videos.
So I'll have to check this out then. So thank you all for the gifts. I get a lot of questions sometimes about where my address is. It's down below in the description. If you scroll down below the video, there's information, my email, my mailing address, things like that. That's where my mailing address is located if you want to send me something. So, all right. Thank you all for the gifts and the kind letters and the financial gifts and stuff. I do appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so Snickers bar is consumed, and right up here is the Appalachian Trail. So we'll be hiking along this for a little bit till we get to that whitetail trail that'll take us back down the mountain. Now when you get to the top of the mountain, both the Victoria Trail and the Whitetail Trail do take you down the other side of the mountain into the main part of the Joseph Iverson Conservation Area. And I have hiked those trails several years ago, so there is a lot of hiking down that way as well, lots of trails. I should do that this spring again sometime. All right. Passed a number of people at my little picnic spot back there. I think a lot of people are coming up from this way, the Appalachian Trail, and heading back. All right, let's get going again here. All right, so here we are on the AT for a bit. So there are a number of wildflowers along the trail here. See lots of these purple violets here, and there's some nice little dainty yellow flowers. There's tons of them up here actually. Look at these right here. These are called Corydalis. These little yellow things. Pretty small little flowers. Yeah, and over here is tons of those purple violets. Splash of purple along the trail here. Let me get a view, get my shadow out of the way. So here you got the yellow mixed in with the purple. Those yellow flowers, the Corydalis, they can be in different shades of colors. These ones are yellow. So I'm gonna try and take some pictures with my other camera, I think. These guys. Get back to you. And growing up here along the trail as well is this garlic mustard. I did a video on that recently, my edible and medicinal plants, because I mentioned it's an invasive species, and even up here along the Appalachian Trail up on top of the mountains it's growing. That's how far it's spread. Yeah, some of it has the white flowers on top already. So it can be a problem in some areas because it can tend to crowd out the native plants. There's quite a bit of it up here, growing all around. Yeah, earlier we had some purple violets, but now we have some white violets. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll find some yellow ones out here too. Alright, so I didn't plan this, but just a moment ago I said maybe we'll find some yellow violets. Well, just 20 feet down the trail there are some yellow violets here. It is common to see all three colors, the purple ones, white ones, and the yellow ones. So let's go check out the yellow ones too. Quite a few of them down here. Let me turn you around. So as promised, right down here they are. Some yellow violets too. Kind of liking those the best right now. The yellow violets. So I'll take a couple pictures of those as well, I think. So I've been bringing my older camera along to take pictures. My Canon SX60 seems to do well with close-ups of flowers and stuff, and I can anyway, I have more editing options I think on there. What I generally film with this is the Panasonic
VX981, the camcorder. It takes great pictures as well. And most of my thumbnail pictures that you see, and a lot of pictures that you see, I take with this. But trying to, but bringing them along with my other camera gives me a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Options as far as taking photos and stuff. But it kind of hangs. I got this little thing that hooks onto my backpack, and I can clip my other camera right on there, so I don't have to hold two cameras. One can just sit right here. It's kind of nice. Alright, so we have joined up with the Whitetail Trail now. Of course, the AT continues on that way. The Whitetail Trail does reconnect with the Victoria Trail on this side of the mountain, down in the Joseph Iverson Conservation Area. But we're gonna take this end back down to the Jeep. 1.4 miles. Of course, this will hook back up with the Victoria Trail on this side of the mountain, because we saw that junction earlier in the video. So that's where we're headed. So I think I'll film. I'll continue to film until we get down to that junction, I think. Depending on what I find. And along with wildflowers, we got our first mushrooms popping up here. Just one nice thing about this part of the trail is that it's all downhill from here, literally, so I'll take that. Although downhill can be tough too sometimes, depending on how steep it is. And here we are, hooked back up with the blue blazed Victoria Trail. Alright, well, I'm going to say goodbye now. A lot of people coming up the trail. I've been passing a lot of people on my way down. So, alright, great little hike. But I think I'm going to make one of the video here today, go visit an old friend, I think. The Victoria Iron Furnace. I've been there before, but it's always fun to go visit an old friend, see if they're still there, still standing. Alright, I'll see you around.